1. Hi, this is Damien re AtHope, and I am an Axiological Atheist, and I'm here with a guest. Could you please tell us your name and what kind of atheist you are?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Chris Penney, and I would say I'm an agnostic atheist. I think I made up my own category there, but I border on the belief and disbelief. I'll go into that a little bit more, but it'll make sense.
Okay. So, when you're saying that agnostic atheist, you mean you don't believe, but you also are saying you don't know. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If you look at scripture and you try to analyze what's going on there, it all to me goes back to all the the pagan myths, and it's basically plagiarized paganism. We know that it's a direct descendant of Mithridatism, like Horus and Osiris and those type of things. But then if you dig deeper on the other side, you get into the science aspect of it, like the archaeology and the biology and anthropology. Absolutely none of it makes sense, and none of it's historically accurate. So, I mean, if you take it from a Muslim or Christian perspective, I don't buy any of it whatsoever. But when you get to the complexity of life and how everything works so well together, it seems to bear the signature of intelligent design, but I'm really skeptical. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. So, were you always an atheist, or were you raised religious and then decided to become an atheist?
I was raised in a Christian household. We were Lutheran, baptized Lutheran. My mom is a Nazarene pastor, and as far back as I can remember, I never really took it seriously. I tried really hard to understand religion. I tried, to understand the scripture and gospels and stuff like that, but nothing ever made sense to me. It just reeked of like this mythological fable, So I think the first story that really kind of teetered me in the other direction was, the story of Noah's Ark, and it just, to me, is mathematically impossible. Absolutely didn't make no sense. Just in the fact that how you going to get animals from every species on an ark, and then how are you build an ark that big, and then what happens when the flood's over, where's the water go, and how do all the species disperse to the other parts of the earth, and how do the kangaroos get to Australia? I mean, I just started coming up with all those questions when I was relatively young, so it didn't make any sense. But in society today, atheism, it's changing now, but it was never accepted, especially in my household. You almost have to be a closet atheist, and when we pray at dinner and things like that, I wouldn't take it seriously. I just couldn't, and I didn't understand what I was missing, because there's a lot of people that are a lot more intelligent than me that are extremely religious. So I just never understood that aspect of it. And science, speaks so loudly to me, because there's physical, tangible evidence that we can see. Evolution existed. I know it. I've seen the bones. There are no missing links. There's a logical progression of life. You can dig down into the earth, and as you get deeper and deeper into layers, you get more primitive life forms. It makes absolutely so much sense. And in its own self, it's beautiful, evolutionist, and I think religion, in a sense, isn't. There's a lot of, like we see it today in Islam, what's going on, and we saw it with the Crusades, and there's a lot of violence that's perpetrated by religions, and I don't support that. And I'm an animal rights activist, and I find a lot of really compassionate people that are like me in the atheist community.
Yeah, well, we have a lot to live for, because we know that this is the only life. So yeah, I mean, they have a lot to die for, because they are other worldsmen. They're waiting for the next life. I mean, they hope if they sacrifice enough, they'll be benefited in heaven or whatever.
Yeah, I see that, and I see a lot of people that I actually went to a Christian film school too, and I didn't see a difference in behavior with the Christian things, but I think that they have the sense that they can, do what they want and then ask for forgiveness. But I'm going to I'm going to treat people well, no matter what. Not because I'm expecting a reward in the afterlife.
Yeah.
That's by nature, that's who I am. I don't want anything for it. That's just who I am. I don't get my morals or anything from any book. And, I don't need to justify my existence by, looking up to the sky for some magical being.
So, how was your childhood growing up? You said you grew up Lutheran?
Yeah, that's Lutheran for sure.
Right. So, and when did you become an atheist?
I guess it was a gradual transition, but I've always, been that skeptical person that's always questioned things. Because
so what you're saying is you didn't really ever fully believe, is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, you read one page of Genesis and you're like, what the hell is this, man? Yeah. This is more far-fetched than Ancient Aliens, if you ever watched that.
Yes, I have. I watched it the first year, but
yeah.
It's nonsense, so I didn't keep watching it, but yeah.
It is, but that guy with the hair.
Sergio or whatever it is.
Yeah. He presents pretty compelling evidence when you see the petroglyphs and petrographs in ancient Egypt and Central America depicting, spacecraft and things like that. It makes you think. And then he talked about splicing DNA, and I thought, think about Adam and Eve and how much. Well, that story just absolutely makes no sense.
Oh, well,
so
Adam and Eve,
yeah. As that, right?
Yeah. Well, I would agree. If you're going to put myth to myth, Ancient Aliens definitely sounds more realistic than the Bible does. I'll definitely agree with that. That doesn't make it true, but yeah. That's like saying, a Bigfoot is more possible than God. Well, yeah, it's a non-magical. Yeah, it's a non-magical creature, that's supposedly primate. Oh, all that's possible.
Yeah, that's not as much of a stretch. In fact, it kind of fits in with evolution. It's theorized to be a Gigantopithecus. They crossed the Bering Strait, came into North America. I don't know. I kind of believe in that.
I don't believe there's Bigfoots, but I do believe that it's more possible than a god, because it's not something. It's like I told someone that I also see even a unicorn is more possible. Although if you look in the evolution of the horse, the 6 stages that basically it went, at least none of them had horns. So it would be very outlandish for a horse to grow a horn at this point. But I mean, it's still not outside the realm of possibilities.
Absolutely. But when you think about it, I mean, like 2,000, 3,000 years ago, people didn't have an explanation for all the things that happened. But science is answering those questions.
Yes.
So you think, our general intellect would evolve with science. Because we know that, the origins of humans are from southeastern Africa. We know that through
that's right.
tracing the human genome. And that kind of totally contradicts Adam and Eve.
Oh, yeah.
We're white because of evolution. We come from Africa. We adapted to our environment. Survival of the fittest. It's Darwinian theory at its finest.
Yeah.
And you watch Richard Dawkins for 5 minutes on YouTube, and you're totally going to change your mindset. But people don't. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But I think it's the problem is it's basically hindsight bias. They look back at a choice they already made, and because I always tell people when they come to me and go, well, I believe in God. I go, do you believe because you are shown an amount of evidence and then you came to believe, or did you accept before you had known anything? I said, well, I believe because of the Bible. Okay, once again, when you first agreed to believe, had you read the entire Bible first, been very convinced by that evidence, and then you believed? And they go, well, no, I believed before I started reading. I go, but see, that's the problem. That's not how you properly form beliefs. You should have a belief that's supported because you came to that conclusion.
Yeah. And the typical response I get from that community, and there's a lot of wonderful people in that community, but they'll say, well, you gotta have faith. That just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I have to have physical, tangible evidence. It's very pragmatic. I have to see it. Yeah, you can't witness evolution as it happens, but you think about, like, in the last 10,000 years when we domesticated dogs, how many different variations of dogs are out there. And you think about, 100 million years of natural selection.
Yeah.
I mean, it absolutely makes sense. You can see it in the fossil record. You can trace it through DNA. You can look at pictures and wow, you can see this common ancestor that we share kind of gradually forming into the modern human.
Yeah.
And 10,000 years from now, we'll probably look different. It's a continuum. It's a process.
But I think so. What you're saying is that you have evidence and not faith.
Right.
Because they always try to say you have faith in science. I'm like, now you don't understand. That doesn't. When you're provided evidence, you no longer need this word called faith.
Yeah, exactly. And they have a set of rebuttals that they come back with. They like to throw out the example of the eye, the complexity of the eye, how it's able to see. But I think everything can be explained through evolution. And they go back to, well, where do you get your morals from if you're not religious? Well, I certainly, even if I was, I wouldn't get them from the Bible, because there's some pretty rude and just barbaric things that happened back then, and I don't support that. I don't support stoning or sacrificing. I'm not homophobic. I'm totally open to, everybody treat everybody with respect and dignity, regardless.
Yeah, I always find it funny because I tell them, well, see, the problem is you don't even know what morality is to actually even challenge an atheist. Because they don't have morality. Morality involves moral reasoning. They don't have moral reasoning. What they have is laws they follow. They follow these laws whether they're moral or not. Because the laws are justified through the source of the deity.
Exactly.
Or the source of the book, which is sponsored by the deity, or whatever. But still, you're getting it from these rules that don't have to be moral. And they always go, "Oh, that's not true." And I go, "Really? So you're saying that Noah's Ark, is a mass murder, right? Because that was people being killed, was it not? Drowned and everything. So
yeah,
can we then say that God violated his own morals? Like, oh, well, God can't do that. Because he owns us. What?
Yeah.
And do you think that's a moral statement?
that story, even in itself, is plagiarized from something called the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Oh, yeah, I know that, yeah.
That happened before. And then you start to think, well, if things are so bad, you had to kill everybody and start all over. Well, I think things are probably a lot worse now than they were back then.
Yeah.
And then, he killed all the animals too, and I'm like, what the hell did the animals do? Okay? I think that bothers me more than...
Well, just think, there had to be, if the whole Earth was populated to their point, that means that some of the women would be pregnant, would they not? So there was unborn babies that God killed with the flood.
Yeah.
And just think, if you're a powerful God and you want to change things, here's something he could have done. Just change their heart.
That would have been the logical way to
right? Wouldn't that have been more ethical than killing them?
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And then, other things about it too are, the fact that Jesus Christ, he's not really referenced by any historians outside of the Bible. There's very little talk of him existing whatsoever. Whether he existed, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like he did. And that all seems like I don't know if you ever saw the movie Zeitgeist. It really does a good job explaining where the myth of Jesus came from. And they're talking about God's only Son, but they're talking about the Son, S-U-N. And it all makes sense.
Well, yeah, because Seamus, which is the sun god of Babylon, it also has different names, but that's also associated with bulls and horses, the same thing that Jesus was. That they know that from archaeology. But I was going to go back. So it is the sun, but I don't think it's just the fact that he's the sun as the name, but it actually is the sun god, and that's what the first King Solomon, his name was after that deity, the sun. But yeah. So I know what you're saying, that the myths, but this is my point. So does it even matter if Jesus was a man lived and then died on a cross. This is not, in that time at Palestine, that's not an amazing thing. You know, so even if there was and there certainly was fanatical religious people that would tell the people, I could do special things or whatever. I mean, all that really is not, it doesn't prove God.
No,
so
you see people like that today, like David Koresh. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, if that was Jesus, that probably was something like that going on back in that time.
Right.
But I mean, you look at some of the other people, like I said, Mithra and Cyrus, and the same kind of story. Born of a virgin birth, died in December, or born on December 25th, sacrificed on the cross. I mean, the story just repeats itself over and over and over again. That combined with human evolution, that's enough to tell me, hey man, we're living a fantasy here. And get over it.
Yeah, the people that like the Bible, though, they like it not because it's real. They like it because they were told. Seriously. Yeah. You already know that because, I mean, if you're born in an Islam country, you don't believe the Bible. So, if you're born in India, you believe in Hindus. So, I mean, it's...
Yeah. It's very geographical. It's very time sensitive. If you were born 2,000 years ago, you've been praying to Thor or somebody else.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And then, another thing that really gets me, the Bible fails to mention any other area outside of the Middle East.
Yes.
We don't talk about, the advanced civilizations in the Orient, China, and Mexico. We don't talk about the pyramids and the Aztecs and the Mayas and the Incas. They had more advanced societies than they did in the Middle East.
Right.
But nothing came out of that. They didn't reference that. So that's another bone of contention. I mean, it's not even something that is worthy of that much thought to me. It's so plainly obvious. But that doesn't stop me trying to find out, the purpose of life, where we came from. Those kind of questions I ask myself all the time. I'm on this constant quest to figure that out. And sadly, I don't think there is any point to it. I think we're just kind of a biological fluke. It kind of happened, and here we are.
Yeah. I would agree. There's no point in it as it relates to some kind of grand plan or something. But I think that we can find meaning how we treat each other and in our lives. Certainly a parent finds meaning in raising a child if they have one. I think we can find meaning. I definitely agree. There's no transcendent meaning.
Yeah. I mean, I wish that there was. I wish that whole mythology was true. Then I would feel like, okay, well, when I die, I'm going to go to the right place and live forever. But sadly, it's not. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
And I can be a good person now.
So how does your family treat you now that you're an out atheist?
Well, I can't really. I can't come out of the closet completely.
Oh, so you're not out. Okay, sorry.
I don't know if she knows or not, because I know she's messing around with Facebook a little bit, and I'm pretty open about it on Facebook. Actually, it's probably I was defriended by a lot of people because of my beliefs or lack of beliefs. And I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Michigan isn't really part of any Bible Belt, but this particular area of the state is. It's a highly Dutch Reformed Christian area, so a lot of people are pretty they're significantly religious, and they take it very, very seriously.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna stick out, man.
Well, my interview this morning, you're my third interview today. And the first interview this morning, she was from Tennessee, said she's in the Bible Belt. And I said, well, to me, I've traveled around as a truck driver. I've been to every state in the United States. The whole United States is the Bible Belt, or has pockets of Bible Belt. It's more like there's a few holes or a few parts that are not the Bible Belt. That'll be a better way to explain it. Like someone took a shotgun from really far away and made a whole bunch of holes. Wherever the holes are, those are atheist friendly. Everything else is not.
Yeah. And I see things changing a little bit, and that's a result of social media, YouTube, and the different resources available to think scientifically. And I think things are changing. It's just really slow, and I'm just really surprised that people will take science for what it is, in a lot of different other categories in medicine, and they'll trust science in medicine. And you understand that there's antibiotics or biological organisms that become resistant to antibiotics. That's absolutely evolution.
Oh, totally.
They'll buy that, but they won't buy it at the macro level. And that's a big hang up. There's even a worse hang up that I have, is there's this whole you've heard of the young Earth creation?
Oh, yes. Talk to them.
Earth is 6,000 years old.
Oh, I've talked to them.
That's the one that gets me the most. I'm like, you freaking got to be kidding me, man. Dinosaurs coexisted with people, yeah. Show me the evidence. Go around with that one.
Or they'll like go, oh, well, if there's this one thing that looks like it, it's a hoax,
Yeah.
They want to believe, no matter what.
Yeah, they hold on. Like I said earlier, there's some really intelligent people that are just very hardcore. Like the Seventh-day Adventist group, they're very traditional Old Testament, word for word. I don't even believe they think that the Bible was written metaphorically. I think they take everything word for word. And I mean, there may be some historical relevance in the Bible, but I think a lot of it's metaphors and things like that. And I know it's been translated, duplicated and replicated and interpreted and things like that. I don't think those folks even buy that.
Well, no, a lot of people think word for word. And I heard one guy tell me, if the Bible said that the Earth was flat, then I would believe the Earth is flat. I mean, how could you even say that out loud and expect someone not to just laugh at you?
I know.
The Earth, if the Bible said the Earth is flat, what?
I know. I tried. I had a girlfriend about 10 years ago that was fairly religious, so I tried. And I went to a church up the road here.
Yeah.
And there was a woman that started freaking out. I didn't know what the heck was going on, but she was talking in tongues. And nobody looked at her funny or moved away, or because it looked like a full-blown steamer. Oh my God, what's going on? And the pastor stepped down, put a blanket on her, and just went back to his thing. I was like, I got to get out of here. And that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, it's amazing the insanity that can happen under the guise of religion, and everybody think it's totally okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost isn't something that's too crazy. It's just someone's gonna go, yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Well, look at like the one cult, Heaven's Gate or whatever, where they all killed themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
Someone tells you, look, we're all going to take poison and die so the aliens could come and resurrect us. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that kind of ridiculousness happens again and again and again. And maybe not so much at the religious level, but you see a charismatic leader like an Adolf Hitler, totally controls the population. They just do whatever he wants. That may be the roots of Christianity. He may have been one of those charismatic people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, charismatic people get people to follow them, so no matter what it is. And if they think that they have something to offer magically, yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah. Do you know what the Vatican, what their position is on evolution, the Catholic Church?
No, I'm not a Catholic. I wasn't a Catholic. I was a fundamentalist Christian, basically, but before, not now. But
right.
But I believe the Catholic Church supports evolution. They think that God started it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution is true, but God started it.
So God, in their perspective, God started life, kicked it into gear, and everything else happened on its own?
Because of God's plan, that's for it to happen like that, or whatever.
Okay.
That still doesn't make sense.
Are you a Big Bang Theory person?
A Big Bang Theory? I would say that if you ask me how the universe came to be, I would say I don't know. I'm not a cosmologist, but what is offered, the Big Bang seems to be supported by the evidence. I mean, they can see background radiation. So, yeah, I mean, they don't really call it the Big Bang as much as it should be called the singularity. Everything goes back to a single point of origin, or at least it looks that way.
Yeah, I think they can measure the expansion of the universe,
right.
and it seems to point in that direction.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and then it kind of moves through.
So when you say believe, I don't like to proportion my beliefs on things that I don't have that much information on. So I would say that it sounds like a reasonable hypothesis. It seems to have evidence. Do I believe that the Big Bang Theory? No, I don't. I don't have enough to believe it. That is because when I think of belief, I think of that I agree that something happened that way. I don't know exactly what happened. Now, that's a hypothesis that seems, somewhat reasonable and supported by evidence. So yeah, I tentatively, would say that seems reasonable, but I would not say I believe that.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I might have misstated myself. But
I mean, if you ask me if I believe that the Earth is round, I will say yes, I believe the Earth is round. But if you ask me something that's a speculative, like the Big Bang, I'd say, well, I accept that it seems reasonable.
Yeah, but are you plagued by that never-ending question? How did it all begin?
No.
How did it all start?
No, because I figure, no matter how it started, I still am living my life the same way. Whether there's a deity, not a deity, I present myself to live in the world as it presents itself, which is natural, devoid of supernatural.
Uh-huh.
Everyone would have to admit by looking around that how the world presents itself is natural and devoid of anything supernatural. There's nothing. If there's supernatural, someone could go ahead and show me and prove it, because I don't see any.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. I started my film career with a paranormal group. West Michigan Ghost Hunter Society. And I hung out with them, and I didn't see any evidence whatsoever. Anything paranormal, anything whatsoever.
I used to be in the paranormal when I first became an atheist. Yeah, but I went down to Georgia. I was living down there, and I went to a haunted house thing, and they're like, "Oh, be respectful." I was telling it to go fuck itself and all this.
Well, I was hoping something would happen. Like, please, man, show yourself. Take a picture. Oh, look, you got an orb.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a speck of God.
Well,
Civil War battlefield.
Yeah, well, I went to Savannah. I don't know if I said Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta too, but I also lived in Savannah. But no, I went to a house in Savannah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I think I said Atlanta, but.
Are you in Seattle right now?
Yeah, I'm in Seattle.
So you're from Washington State?
No, I'm from California.
Oh, you're from California? Okay.
Yeah, I'm from California.
Cool.
I've lived all over the place though. I was a truck driver, but my wife's job, we moved around a lot. I've lived in California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Texas, Missouri, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Colorado.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
It's pretty mobile then. So, were you out as an atheist, or were you raised Christian?
Till 13, I was raised in a religious cult called the local church in Huntington Beach, California. And it's kind of like Jehovah's Witness in the fact that we didn't, at least my dad, I don't know how the whole church was doing, but at least my personal experience with the religion of my dad is that we basically didn't celebrate holidays or birthdays, or we didn't watch movies. We didn't have a TV. He did in his room, but we didn't have a TV. We didn't listen to the radio except talk shows for Christians. And we didn't do sports. We did nothing but church, and that was it. So, and then at 13, I left and went. My mom divorced at 7, but at 13, I went and lived with her. Maybe it was at 12 something, and she's an evangelical Pentecostal, the dance in the aisle and the singing, like you said.
Oh yeah.
Talking in tongues, Allah, shanda, la, 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 whatever, Order me a pizza.
Yeah, that was pretty scary, man. I thought at that point, I just got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, well, I was raised in that, and they're like, try to do it, and I'm like, I can't do it. I don't feel it. I don't know what you people are feeling. I don't feel it. well, it should come on you. And I'm like, no. And I was trying.
And, I think to this day, even the Christian people I know that are pretty hardcore Christians, they still try to convert me, and they still ask me to read the Bible and question whether I've ever read the Bible. I haven't read the Bible. I've read bits and pieces of it, and I've been to church, and I've watched so many debates. I have enough knowledge to know, that it's very non-factual. And but you know what? I would read it if they would take an anthropology class. There's 5 minutes into anthropology at a graduate level. I pretty much do. Pretty much do.
Yeah, college is what turned me atheist at 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what turned me. Going to classes on comparative religions and then a class on the Bible itself. I was done.
Yeah.
And and you hadn't read the Bible. I read the Bible twice. I read the King James and the NIV. I read the Bible twice because I was fundamentalist, but I believed in writing it because I wanted to champion the Bible.
Well, that's all. I really couldn't understand it. When I got into Genesis, it seemed like I can't quote it directly, but it seemed like there was light on one day, and a couple days later.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 days later. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the first sign right from that point. I don't know what page that was on. I don't think I made it on it. Then, of course, when I was a teenager, I was a big-time heavy metal freak, and I was listening to Iron Maiden, so I had to figure out what 666 was. So I went to the Book of Revelations, and I read that, and that was it. I had enough. It scared me.
Yeah, the guy in Revelation sounds like he's on drugs.
Yeah. It's a hell of a movie, though,
Yeah.
The Book of Revelations.
Really. But, so how does it, speaking of making a movie, how does being an atheist, are you out in your job or do they not know? Do you just not talk about it?
There's people that are non-believers that I can talk to. But one of my best friends at work is a Seventh-day Adventist, and we have pretty heated debates. And I love the debate. I don't have a problem with it. And he's so steadfast in his beliefs. It's just mind-boggling to me that somebody can be programmed at that level. And he's a computer programmer. He's a very, very intelligent guy. And I'm like, how can you take this evidence and exist in the world around you and believe in this fable, this mythology, and deny everything scientific, but yet you believe in electronics and computer code and everything else, medicine, but you can't support evolution, those types of things.
Yeah, I don't understand either. One thing though that you could probably ask him is if could he be shown something that would make him disbelieve the Bible, because to me some of them would say no, nothing would ever make me disbelieve the Bible. And then I know I'm not talking with a person who's open to reason. If you will not be changed by anything, then I tell him I'm done talking. It's a waste of time, because then it doesn't matter because then they've decided. See, it's not even about a belief anymore. They made a decision to close off any other information.
Yeah. And I think it's particularly difficult for me too, because a lot of people in that position have children, and they're teaching children this thing.
Oh,
yes. They want the schools to teach this thing, and I wouldn't want. I would want my kids to make. I don't have kids, but if I did, I want them to make their own decisions based on factual evidence.
Right.
And I'm not going to fill them full of this, this mumbo jumbo that just doesn't make any sense. And it's almost bordering on child abuse in my mind. It just doesn't seem right to teach kids something that we know isn't correct.
Yeah, I think that it can be child abuse. What I think the abuse, though, for me is not even the telling them that something that's wrong, because I don't think that I do agree it's not a good way to know the world, certainly. But I think for me the abuse is the force, because usually what they'll do is like my parents did definitely is threaten them. That's I think for me the abuse. When they say you must go to church, when they force them to do something, when they say it's nonsense and then they abuse them, that you're going to go to hell, you're evil, you're sick, you're possessed with demons, that kind of stuff, to me is abusive. Because I could say if you said, well, I don't believe, that's like, well, then the devil's in you, you know. You're like, I just don't see the evidence, and they're like, you know, you're just demon possessed, you know. It's and you're just, well, it's because you have a sinful heart, you know what I'm saying? They just shame the child. So to me, that is where, for me at least, because you know they do that.
Yeah, they do. And I remember as a kid, you know, having nightmares about going to hell.
Right.
Because that was always a repercussion of the punishment for doing something wrong or not believing or using the Lord's name in vain or any of those type of things. So, I would, you know, choose to use that, even if I was, oh my God, that's just horrible to put a child in that position to have to think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not fair, and like I said, I think that it really does do abuse, you know, in that thing, because when you're shaming them, when you're guilting them, when, like you said, the hell is a threat. I mean, imagine if a parent told a child, you're going to be tortured if you don't do something. Everybody would say that was psychological abuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you say, well, no. It was a threat from the Bible. Oh, okay. Then it's moral. Oh, what? Yeah. How does that?
So let me ask you. So you're doing some outreach stuff, some outreach work in different areas. I saw a picture of you. You were in looked like there was a Muslim protest behind you.
Yes, there was.
How's that working out?
In fact, they actually walked. I didn't move, and they actually walked around me.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't move.
Okay.
I just stood there and did not move. They had to go around me. But anyway, so what were you going to ask? Why did I do it, or what were you asking?
Well, I just wonder what kind of response you're getting from the public, because there's
both.
Still this negative connotation that's associated with atheism.
I would say both. I have people walking by going like this, you know, giving me a thumbs up, you know, probably atheists, or I don't know, because sometimes like in that picture, one of the pictures I know for the Muslim protest, there was a Muslim that came up to me and put his thumb out next to me.
I saw that.
Yeah. He was a moderate Muslim, and he said he was happy that I was coming out to put a challenge to these extremists. So he said, I'm a Muslim, but I am happy you're here because someone has to come out and challenge these people that they're not the only voice that can be heard. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. So, I mean, but I've had atheists that like it too, say thank you for being here and stuff, you know. But yeah, I've had people challenge, but usually the challenge is, I've only been one time I was threatened, and that was in California, but I was threatened. But all he said is, you have no right to be there, and he started coming like he's gonna, you know, hurt me. I'll make you leave. And I said, you're not do nothing. I'm gonna stay right here. And I stood up, and then he just and he walked away, you know. But and one time at one of the colleges here, this lady, I was showing her because she said something about God, and I said, well, what's God? First off, what's God? And she goes, the Bible. I said, well, that's not evidence. Tell me what is a God so I can understand. She's like, well, it made the world. Well, I don't see it. Tell me what's a God. And she's like, well, you know, the creator of the universe. How do you know that? I don't know that. Where are you getting this evidence from? Where do you see that? Well, can't you see it there? I see natural, you know. So if I told you there's a tree down there that's you know, purple, you're going to believe me unless I show you? Well, no. Well, I don't believe you. You show me. And she got so mad. Anyway, she's up smacking herself in the face. She's like 43 or something. She was a teacher at the university. And just because I was, you know, questioning her, and she really felt like she couldn't get an answer. She's like, God is real and I know it. And she slapped herself in the face, and I'm like, wow. Nuts.
You know what a crocodile is?
A what? A crocodile? Yeah.
So you know where he comes from?
Yeah, I talked to him actually twice. Yeah. I'm on one of his videos. He has a video called Noah. And I'm on there for about 30 seconds. He asked me, where did water come on the earth? And I said, well, I believe what scientists say is it was comets. And then he goes and talks to a scientist right after me, and the scientist said it was comets. Although I now watch the show and they said actually it's not comets, it's asteroids.
Okay.
The reason,
I've heard that theory too.
well, they say it's asteroids. The reason why, because they say that comets have heavy water, and it's only 3% of our ocean or something like that. I don't remember details exactly, but of our ocean is heavy water, so it cannot be from that source. The asteroids have the exact same water, salt, and everything that we do. So it seems the most likely, although they don't have very much water on them, so it must have been a lot of asteroids hitting us. Or
I see him. He's pretty visible on YouTube, and I haven't seen him debate like a Richard Dawkins yet.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to see that day come. I'm a huge Dawkins fan. I also like Christopher Hitchens.
Yeah.
He was brilliant in his time. And then, of course, Carl Sagan and the likes. I love what they have to say. 5 minutes in front of those lectures would probably change somebody's mind as well. But the Ray Comfort thing, it just is really annoying. Really annoying to me watching him.
Yeah,
he's a smart guy. He's a very intelligent guy.
I think he's just a liar. I don't think he
really?
told. No, I've talked to him. I think that he's not slimy, because I think that Eric Coven. I met him too. I talked to him.
Yeah.
I think Eric Coven is just a shyster, just a total con man.
Are they out there just scamming the public?
He is a scam artist. He's just, to me, because to me, at least Ray Comfort kind of asks questions, then he kind of gives his opinion. Where Eric Coven tries to like get you in little mind games and little tricks. Oh, I got you. It's just shysterism. It's not. There's no substance to it. Ray Comfort to me is just he's a nice liar. I mean, I've met him, so I would say he has kind of a nice personality, but he's just a liar. Because I told him, because I said to him, he asked me, like, where did I get my moral values? And I said, where do you get your moral values? I said I can use Axiology, which is the scientific understanding of values. What is it you use? You use the Bible God that killed the whole planet? That's your moral source? Really? Yeah, that's not, even if that was the source, I would say it's an uncredible source. Anyways, and then he's like, well, I don't know. All I know is that I believe the Bible. And I go, so you're saying that that I could be right, you just don't want to know. Is that what you're saying? And he goes, well, you're a smart guy. You probably understand, more than I understand. I'm simple. The Bible, makes sense. And I'm like, but you're admitting that someone might know more than you and maybe have a different understanding than you. It sounds like you should try to understand instead of keep pushing something that you're just saying fits because you're simple. That's not very honest. And he was like, well, everyone's got to do what's right. I just feel like that's just a cop-out. I mean,
I certainly don't need a book to give me my morals or values. I had a discussion the other day with a friend about that. And, I was talking about natural selection, and he was like, well, that's survival of the fittest. So, in that realm, wouldn't you want to kill anybody that's your competition? I mean, he was kind of coming at me from a biblical perspective. And I tried to explain to him, no, because if you think about evolution and how it works, groups that stuck together probably survived because they could fight off the saber-toothed tiger. So therefore, they were able to pass their genes on and produce people that are more likely to survive in groups. And so that's where that probably came from. So I think that most of that behavior and how we are is a process or product of evolution.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, to me, we're psychological and sociological beings. So we don't actually understand the world how it really is. We understand it through our emotions.
Exactly.
Right. Well,
and we function together as a social creature.
Yes, we do.
Together.
Yes, we do.
Better as groups.
I totally agree.
And that's where altruism comes from.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it's totally natural. It doesn't need any supernatural. And the fact that they've even the hominids before us, they found burials where there was old people that didn't have teeth and children that had deformities, and they were being cared for. I mean, it's not some magic that we had to wait till the Bible came to be morality, you know. It's just,
that predates the Bible by about 1,000,000 years that you're showing up actual burials.
Okay, I think burials. The first burial I think is about. Well, the Homo nati would be probably the oldest burial. They don't know if that's, but that would be 500,000, so 500,000. But and I think Neanderthal. I remember, but not exactly. I think the Neanderthals started burying like 250 or 300,000. But for sure, the first human burials are 100,000. There's two of them, South Africa and in Israel. So, and then shortly after that, there's a bunch more burials. But anyways, I'm just saying that I agree with you that it's certainly way outside the 6,000 years. And certainly the 4,000 or less, actually, it's like about 3,000 years or 2,500 or something that the Bible's the Torah has been around, because the Torah wasn't even finished until late, and then the Christian Bible wasn't finished till like about I think it was 100 years or something, or it's 150, almost 200 years after Jesus. So it's basically about 1,900 years ago. But anyways, morality was happening way before that. I mean, you just think, even if the Earth was only 6,000 years old, the Bible is only like 2,500 or 3,000 years old. So even if you give them the whole 3,000, so 3,000 years, that's still 3,000 years pre-Bible that people were still acting humanely. How did they do that?
Yeah, I know. There's just too much going on to sway me in that direction.
Oh, I'm just agreeing with you. It's ludicrous. How they could even say that? They just must not have any knowledge at all, or they're not using the knowledge they have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's scary in that perspective. It really is. It really is. But
well, yeah, that's why I think it's when people say that the book isn't harmful. Yeah, it always has the potential to be harmful. I see it like a loaded gun. Sure, if I leave a loaded gun out on the table and I walk away, it's not a guarantee it's going to jump up and start shooting people. But because it's there and available, someone might pick it up and shoot somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's what the book is. It's this constant loaded gun with all this, bigotry and hate and misinformation that can make people, desire to do harm.
Yeah. It's certainly subject to interpretation, just like the Quran.
Oh,
People
yeah.
like the fundamentalists and things like that will take it for face value and act aggressively based on those beliefs that they attribute to their books and their gods and things like that.
But see, like you said the right point. If you accept it actually as it presents itself, fundamentalism is actually the norm, or it should be. The only way that you don't get fundamentalism is you don't accept it at face value.
Right.
So to me, that's always a scary thing, because if you actually accept the religion as it should be accepted, or if it was real, then fundamentalism would be the standard, not the aberrant. They act like somehow moderate is the aberrant. No, it's not.
So, what is your goal and objective then? Is just to continue your work, your outreach programs?
Well, I have a book that I already totally wrote, and then I'm now rewriting it because I'm worried about copyright laws.
Okay.
So because I'm using archaeological evidence and stuff, I have like 2,000 references in my book. It's gonna be 600 pages. It's basically 6 chapters, so it's about almost 100 a page. I mean a chapter. But it's gonna be called "The Tree of Lies and Its Hidden Roots: Exposing the Evolution of Religion and Removing the Rationale of Faith." And I show how religion went, and I show all these archaeological facts that prove how it was just slowly formed.
So when you have these discussions, when you're doing your outreach,
are you influencing anybody in any capacity?
Oh, absolutely. In multiple ways. Number one, I influence some of the religious people to think about... Can you hear me? You can't hear me, right?
My phone died.
Oh. All right, well...
Nice talking to you. My phone's dead.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was good talking to you.